Welcome, everybody, to another great episode of Real Life Matters. And I'm your host, DBoss. And, I'm just encouraging everybody. I know you guys heard me say this before, but just encourage people to buy the people's if they have books, to stream their music, like their page. It only takes a second, it doesn't, and most people know how to do that. But, this is a RLM tip, which I'm going to be giving you today. And it's about laughing. And when you smile, when you first come on, you smile, everything, the whole room just lights up with you. But if you show that you're kind of feeling like, well, then everybody gets that vibe off of you. But I'm encouraging everybody to find something to laugh about because it actually make you look younger, so you don't get those frown lines in your face. And then also it releases good energy. It helps heal part of your body, and it sends off these signals in your body when you laugh because you're releasing a lot of stress, anxiety, and all that. So, I find that it's a good thing. Me, I laugh. I know some people laugh at my laugh. That's okay. But, that actually releases a lot of stress from you, anxiety, and, just laugh. I just encourage everybody just to find something, just laugh for 5 minutes if it's something funny. Even if you're watching a movie, some people figure because I'm by myself, I'm sitting there, I don't need to watch, I don't need to be laughing out with this one comedy I'm watching. But you know what? It's good. Just laugh. It doesn't matter. Who cares? It's you in the house or it's somebody else. Just laugh and you'll see yourself feel a lot better. But anyways, today we have a very special guest, and she's doing a lot of dynamic stuff. She's a motivational speaker. She's a Harriet Tubman Portrayal. She's an author, an actor. She's a teaching artist, and she released 2 books, and we're gonna find out because she's gonna be talking about the legendary, Harriet Tubman, and she's gonna tell us about how she wanted to do that and portrayed her roles and all the other stuff. So, with no other further ado, I introduce to you KAROL V. Brown.
Well, the boss, I definitely have to find something to laugh about after that great information about laughing and feeling healthy. I'm all about that.
But it's true. A lot of people don't know that. That you have to laugh, and a lot of people hold in, and when you're holding laugh, that makes you,
Right, right. My
so
background is health education, and so stress relief, laughing is great.
yes.
Thank you so
Well, you
much.
look good because you're smiling, but it shows so much of a different personality side to you when you laugh. If you're always strict and
Yes, right. Exactly.
like people won't talk to you.
Right, right, right.
Well,
Well,
they'll
thank you.
talk
I
to you if you're a
appreciate that.
judge or something. They have to. But it's good to even smile or just that's why I just I'm encouraging people to do that, and I'm giving them little tips to what happens, because it heals parts of your body. People don't
That's right.
realize.
That's right.
And you being from the health,
Yes.
it heals. It heals. But a lot of people forget to tell people that. They're also busy, fighting and telling off everybody, but they're not laughing.
They're not laughing. Yes, right, right. Stress relief is important.
Okay. So, KAROL, tell everybody where's your background, because here at Real Life Matters, everybody likes to know where your background is, like where you come from.
Okay. Well, I'm currently in Dayton, Ohio, which is my hometown, but
Okay.
I lived in Washington State, around the Seattle, Washington area for about 28 years. And that was where I fell in love with Harriet Tubman. My husband and our 3 children moved out there, and I started working at the Veterans Administration Hospital as a
Okay.
dietitian. And I also became helping with stress management. I was chairman of the Black Employees Committee, and part of my duties was Black History Month. So one
Mm,
year,
and
getting
that's
ready
coming
for
up soon, people.
that's coming up soon. I'm available.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
So preparing for Black History Month, I was watching the movie with Cicely Tyson on Harriet Tubman, A Woman Called Moses,
Oh,
and
okay.
watching that, she gave a parable that I hadn't heard before. And I said, well, I got to research Harriet Tubman. I like to share that parable. And so when I started researching, I fell in love with her. I said, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I bet people don't know that. And so I developed a little story first for Toastmasters. Anybody been in the Toastmasters
Ooh, I know a lot of people
Club?
that's in that.
Yeah. Well, that's where I was studying the storytelling segment of the Toastmasters. And so I put the story together and I did a little costuming with it, and it went well, and it's grown from there. That was over
So
20 years ago.
you just wanted to you liked Harriet Tubman, and so you just put yourself and made yourself and be
Yes, I
that.
started portraying her, and I portray her as an elderly
Wow.
version of Harriet Tubman. So a lot of stories stop on the Underground Railroad, which was just a portion of her life, you know. And so by being the elderly version of Harriet Tubman, I can tell all her stories. And so what I've done is used Harriet Tubman's stories to teach life lessons. So my programs, books, workshops are not just about learning about Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad. It's really, my concept is learning about love and how I feel that it took love for her to do what she did, a strong love for her people, her family. And that was the motivation that what else could take somebody back to where you could be captured and tortured or killed or whatever 13 times to bring other people out. She was all about love.
So it's good that you played the mature her,
Yes.
and as you know, because I guess everybody looks at the younger one, but
Yes.
I guess how she would teach something to you if she was you. So that's what you're portraying, right? In the segments in the
Right.
listening
Because
stories.
this first segment is explaining why she had to go back. So you're going to show a little brief. I made a
Yes,
movie.
yes, people. It's movie times here at Real Life Matters. And we're going to see the stories here with Carol. We're featuring Harriet Tubman. We're going to see her, and we're going to see her actually in it. So everybody, we're going to watch, and then we'll come back.
Okay, great.
All right, here we go.
Questions for me. Whoa, Aunt Harriet, I heard you went to Maryland 13 times and came back. How did you do that?
Now, folks are always asking about the Underground Railroad, but most of them don't want to know why I went back. But let me tell you, let me explain it to you. You know, baby, I can explain it to you in just one word. Love.
Love?
Yes, love. Now, I'm going to tell you about my stories on the Underground Railroad, but before I get into the stories about what I was doing on the Underground Railroad, let me explain to you about my life before then. Then you understand a little bit better what it was I was running away from. That's slavery. Ooh, it was horrible. Now, I growed up on the eastern shore of Maryland, Dorchester County, where I was born, not far from Cambridge, Maryland. As you know where Cambridge is, that's about where I was living, showing up. Beautiful place to live, sure was. Now, I was born about 1820 or 1821. I ain't right sure, because y'all know they ain't wrote down when those slave babies was born. So I ain't got no paper to tell me that. My mama, she sure enough knows when it was, and she said it was the spring of the year. Sure was. She said it was about March. Now, my mama, her name was Harriet Green. Everybody around there called her Old Rip. And Daddy, his name was Benjamin Ross. And he's known as Daddy Ben. Sure enough was. One reason he's known as Daddy Ben because he had a whole lot of children. There was 9 of us children in my family. That's right. I was right about in the middle, showing up. I had 3 sisters older than me, Lena, Marie Reddy, and Sophie. And I had a brother, Robert, that was older than me. And then came me. Now, after me, I had a brother Ben, sister Rachel, brother Henry, and my baby brother's name was Moses. So, big family, like I say, sure was. Now, my daddy, he worked for the Baltimore shipyard as a lumberman. And he was the supervisor of his team of men that worked out in the woods. Mama, she was a cook up at the big house. That's right. Ooh, I love my family, loved them all. And we love to get together. Because you see, Daddy, for most part of my growing up, he didn't live with us. Because him and Mama had different owners. So Daddy lived on another plantation. We didn't see him every day. Oh, but when we was together, sure, and I'm telling you, we had such a good time. Sure enough did. I love my family, sure did. But y'all know, as a little girl, I always listened to the grown folks talking. I remember hearing them talking about the chain gang. Did y'all know what the chain gang is?
A chain gang? Isn't that some type of group of people looking to cause trouble?
No, baby. See, I heard the grown folks talking about the Deep South. Now, where we was in Maryland, slavery was bad enough right here. I'm telling you, we worked hard. We worked from the time you can to the time you can't. Does y'all know what I'm talking about? So if the daylight's up and you can see your hand in front of your face, it's time to get out in that field and work. And you stay out there and work till you can't see your hand in front of your face no more. That's the time you can to the time you can't. That's right. Now, in Maryland, we grow corn and wheat, and like I said, everybody worked hard. And remember, folks was working hard without getting paid, too. But sure, we heard it down in the Deep South, out of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, ooh, slavery was even worse. That chain gang was. See, they did that so you couldn't run away. They actually put some chains on your legs. You two sitting next to each other, down there on the chain gang, your leg be chained to your sister's leg, right there. And then on the other side, your other leg might be chained to somebody else. Now, they done that so you couldn't run away. Sure enough did. I was always scared about going on the chain gang. Anytime I seen that white man and call himself my master at the big house, I was scared he's going to come and send me off on the chain gang. My 3 older sisters, they all got sent away. And we feared that they got sent down on the Deep South because we ain't never seen them no more. Lena left her 2 babies behind.
That's terrible. Who took care of their babies?
Well, Mama and I took care of the babies best we could. Their daddies lived on another plantation, so he really couldn't do much. So sure, that's why I tell you, if we had to love each other, and I mean everybody around. Daddy Ben was Daddy Ben to all the children around there, because there wasn't that many daddies around that place at that time. And so we's all one big family. All the ladies was either auntie or sister, and all the men folks was brother or uncle. See, everybody around was my family, everybody. It ain't matter no if they's really kin to you or not, because it didn't matter. We took care of each other. Sure did. I always loved my family, all my community family. But I tell you one thing, child. One thing I learned was I need to love myself.
What do you mean?
Well, you see,
Cliffhanger.
Woo! I'm like, what? I want to see it. I was like, and, and we're back. And we're back, everybody. But when you got those clothes made for yourself and the set, like, where did you film it at?
So that was a pandemic gift, actually.
Okay.
So it was filmed in, I usually do this live, of course, as a storyteller live in front of live audiences. But during the pandemic, I wasn't able to do that. So fortunately, I was able to get a crew together to videotape it at a local historical site here in Dayton, Ohio. We have the KAROL Park, and it shows a lot of old historical buildings and includes the Wright brothers' original plane. Dayton, Ohio is the home of the Wright brothers. Yeah, and so their plane is there. It's also the home of Paul Laurence Dunbar. So I was able to go and actually be in one of those cabins, and that fireplace was all the heat it was, and it was bitter that day.
Well,
Yeah.
I see you keep pushing it.
Yes, yes. That was really trying to get cold because I was there for all day long.
Wow. So, because it looks so like the actual setup, like you would tell somebody back in those times, right?
Yes, yes, yes. And
So, how long did it take you to film that? You said all day, one day or a couple days?
So actually, I was there a whole day myself, about probably 6 to 7 hours, and then the children, which are my niece and nephew, Sky Brown and Ocean Brown, and they were there all day the second day. So actually, magic of movies, we weren't there at the same time all the way.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Harry, no, so okay, so you just have a cliffhanger. So is the rest of the story now you got everybody hooked on the story now. So the rest of it now, where can they see that? So are you having it on YouTube, or are you waiting to when you could do the storytelling live?
Actually, I showed it locally at theater a couple of times, and I probably would do that again. I am going to have it able to be streamed probably by March.
Okay.
March 10th is Harriet Tubman Day. And so I probably planned something around that time, and I'll definitely let you know so you can.
Yes, or send it to us so we can stream it too. Because now you got everybody's mouth open.
Uh-huh.
I want to hear it. I want to know what it is.
Right. So the stories I'm telling the stories are in my book. And see, it's the best way to see that. Okay,
that's the book.
It's the Harriet Tubman Way, an inspirational guide to self-love, empowerment, and legendary leadership for girls. So the young lady, Lynn, the character, came in as a shy young lady who needed to do an interview to help bring her grades up in school. And she talked her brother into bringing her and wanted him to do all the talking and questioning. And so she at the end of the movie, she has gained more self-confidence from sitting and talking and learning from Harriet Tubman. And so that's what my books are all about. This is my current book. It just came out August this last year. And my first book has been out since 2013 is 30 Lessons in Love, Leadership, and Legacy from Harriet Tubman. And they're both set up similar, where they cover each very small books, very thin. They're written for very easy to read, 5th grade reading level, so I can use them in classrooms.
Okay.
They're actually set up as a curriculum. So you have open up with a quote of some person that they're also learning about. I'll share some of those names in a minute.
Okay.
Then there's the story. Then there's some comments at the end to sort of summarize the lesson that you're learning from there. So the first lesson in this book is to love yourself, to learn to love yourself first.
Okay.
And the person quoted is Queen Latifah. So yeah, you'll be surprised who I have quoted in my book here.
So you got those big stars reaching out to you, I guess, because they're seeing what you're doing.
Well, I'm reaching out to them.
Reach out to them. Okay, you reach out, but somebody will reach out to you.
Well, yeah, I hope so when they find out they're featured in my book.
Okay.
So, so what I do is, especially in this book, is guiding girls to understand the importance of taking care of themselves and knowing that they need to love themselves. So when they start loving themselves, that helps build their self-esteem, helps self-respect. And Harriet Tubman's stories teach all these lessons: communication skills, how to be a visionary, to know she visualized being free long before she actually got there.
So give us a tip about how with the girls, what's one tip to make them know to love themselves?
To actually, I have affirmations to say loving things to yourself, to realize that, most people have heard that, God loves us and God is inside of us, but how many really believe that, that we are children of God? So I call the young ladies goddesses. You're children of God. You have wonderful potential. You have talents. And so you need to be able to look at yourself and realize all that you're able to do. So I walk them through learning about identifying their own talents by using their talents, communication skills, learning to be able to communicate with people so that they can actually express themselves in so many different ways. I share stories about how during Harriet Tubman's time, of course, they couldn't read and write. She and other people couldn't read and write, but they could communicate. And they were smart. It had all many different ways to communicate. The songs they sing, the quilts, things like that, being able to give eye contact in a certain way. People has their own way of getting their point across without other people knowing about it. Practice forgiveness. We need to be able to forgive ourselves as well as other people. Harriet Tubman was able to forgive those people who were cruel to her as she was growing up as a child. And she, in the movie, expresses the importance of that. I
So don't you have a trailer for that one, or is it giving yourself love or something? Or
I think it was love. Looking, I think it was love and listen and learn. I think that's what I gave
listen
you.
and learn, right?
Yeah. So using your listening skills, paying attention.
Okay.
Did you want to play
So
that?
do you want me to play? So you want me to play that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if it's the right one, but anyways, we'll play this one.
Yeah.
They're all relating to it. We got a whole bunch of questions for you. All right, go ahead.
Questions for me.
Whoa, Aunt Harriet, I heard you went to Maryland 13 times and came back. How did you do that?
Now, folks are always asking about the Underground Railroad, but most of them don't want to know why I went back. But let me tell you, let me explain it to you. Baby, I can explain it to you in just one word. Love.
Love?
Yes, love. Now, I'm going to tell you about my stories on the Underground Railroad, but before I get into the stories about what I was doing on the Underground Railroad, let me explain to you about my life before then. Then you understand a little bit better what it was I was running away from. That's slavery.
Yeah, that's not it.
That's what I realized. Hold on, it's this one.
Yeah.
I say, wait a minute, let's go again.
Well,
okay, so
that was all right. But the church I really loved was when we had our own little secret church out in the woods, the campfire church meetings, and we'd be under the big bright moon and the beautiful stars and the invisible church.
If the camp meetings were secret, how did everyone find out about them?
Did y'all ever hear about the grapevine?
A grapevine? How do you communicate with that?
Now, did you ever think about some ways that you can talk that ain't talking?
I can just talk by texting. I mean, oh, you didn't have cell phones, and you couldn't read or write. Wow, that's tough.
That's right. You got to think about that. I'm sure you come up with some ways if you need to. You're right. I ain't never seen no cell phone before today. Well, so my daddy and his men's out in the woods, when they clear off a new spot, and that was a good spot for a meeting, then they let folks know about it. They sing the song, Steal Away to Jesus. Now, we learned that song in church. We ain't had no song books, and you know if we couldn't read it. And as we didn't know the words to the song, they didn't care, as long as it sound pretty. Because they always thought that if their slaves was singing, then they was happy slaves. Because y'all know we couldn't just be sitting out there or working out there in the fields talking to each other, because we couldn't talk, because they always think we was talking about running away. If they was talking about me, they was probably right. But they love to hear us sing, because they say, oh, my slaves are singing all day. They some happy slaves. They just didn't know we some talking slaves with them songs we sang. Sure enough did. Brother Eli, would you sing that Steal Away song for the children?
Sure. Steal away, steal away, steal away to Jesus. Steal away home. I ain't got long to stay here. My Lord, He calls me in the thunder. The trumpet sounds within my soul. I ain't got long to stay here.
So that was my husband, James Brown.
That's what I thought so. There you go. Carol,
Yeah.
telling all the secrets there.
And so what I would do is, so that lesson is number 5 in this book, 30
Okay.
Lessons, Love, Leadership, and Legacy. It's written a little bit different in the same book, but the same concept. But let me read you the quote that opens up this lesson.
All right.
The thing about hip hop today is it's smart, it's insightful. The way they can communicate a complex message in a very short space is remarkable. That's Barack Obama. So I try to show, so the kids in the movie have traveled back in time to 1913. And so they get to meet magically Harriet Tubman. And so we have today's youth meeting a historical figure and being able to take her stories and quotes from people, current people, most of them, some are not current, but people they know about, and have discussion questions like, how do you communicate with friends that no one else knows what you're saying, you know? I also have workbooks that go with each other book so that they can actually write their responses and think about and journal. So yeah, this is a way for use in classrooms, homeschooling, all kinds of groups. I like to do workshops where we can actually, over a period of if one day or hour or several weeks, go through each lesson, and they have a chance to apply it. They have a chance to do some research on some of the people that they're learning about. And so that's the whole idea.
So Harriet Tubman. Okay, everybody knows the story about Harriet Tubman. Not everybody, but people are going to know it now. And if they don't know it, they're going to hear about it now.
Yes.
And how she ran away here to Canada.
Yes.
Underground railroads.
Yes.
So, the story just doesn't stop there
No.
with her. So are you going to do a version and tell people what she did here in Canada?
Well, I need to come up there and do the research. So that's what
We're not
I
putting you on
know.
a spot or anything. We're just like, because a lot of people only think, oh, Harriet Tubman, she brought the slaves. They came through the Underground Railroad here in Canada. They went through Nova Scotia up that side there to get in. That's the eastern coast of there. But
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know is that the prairies in Canada, which is Saskatchewan, Winnipeg, Manitoba, and Alberta, a lot of slaves ran across there too, for the flatlands, right?
Right.
And
Right.
also in Ontario, they had Upper Canada, which they came through Niagara Falls up through St. Catharines. They came through there also.
Yes.
So, sometimes, I'm not saying it's your fault or nothing like that, but I'm just saying that a lot of people forget that, they came to Canada. The whole thing just didn't stop there because they did stuff here also.
Oh, yes. Yes, Harriet, they passed the fugitive slave law in 1850. And at that time, someone could come up north as far as the edge of the United States in New York City or what other state that was contiguous to Canada and bring them back to slavery. I have a story in there that talks about that in the movie. And so Harriet would take her people up through New York to Ontario. And
no, it was through New York. It's through Nova Scotia, that side. That's where the underground, where they brought them through.
Mm-hmm. And she was able to, she lived there, I think, about 3 years with her family. Her parents, she finally brought them up. Her mother couldn't tolerate the cold. And unfortunately, she was able to purchase some property in Auburn, New York. And she was able to bring them there. And that's where she lived the rest of her life.
Oh, okay. So because here in Canada, we have Viola Davis. She's on our $10 bill.
Oh, really? I didn't know she was from Canada.
She's on our $10 bill.
Okay.
And she was actually a hairdresser.
Oh, wow.
So, and products and different things. So, a lot of people don't, sometimes, we have a bit here because coming through you guys from the American side, and they came over here and they resided here. So then they have also the slaves coming from the Caribbean. So the Caribbean, which my family helped assist in a lot of that, and had a plantation, and there was Bostick's. So my last name is Bostick. So they resided in Barbados, but had a plantation, but they did not know that it was owned by a black man.
Oh.
Because we have the white Bosticks and then we have the black ones. So,
okay.
And then they went to North Carolina's there, and they came through the Bostick plantation there, which they still have there. So so a lot of things. So now, because it's Black History Month and a lot of things are happening, a lot of Americans are here through that, running across from the underground, because that's the only way they can connect, get out.
Yes.
So a lot of them resided here. A lot of them who were bounty hunters and all kinds of stuff. They stayed and they just hid out because you could hide. Where are you gonna be at?
Yes. Right. Once they crossed that line, they could, and they were safe. Yes.
Right. So it's admirable of you doing and taking the time out to do the story like that, but you got to do the rest of it.
Okay. I'll give it to you, help you find a
It's just because that's big, because she stayed here a long time too, right? So a lot of people that were heading the slave trade and heading them to guys to get out of there, a lot of them ended up over here, and us in Canada, we have to stand up and say, hey, these people came through here and they're here. We welcome, and which we did welcome them and stuff like that. But, you know, we have to be able to say, yeah, we're part of that history too.
Exactly.
This is where they ended up.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
They came from there, but they ended up here.
Yeah, and I'm
So,
sure
you know.
plenty of them stayed too.
so no, but it'd be a good segment for you to do also, right?
Oh yes.
Like how you did it when now you dress up and you say, oh, I'm here living in, you know, I'm
Yes.
you know, just get, you know,
because come up there and record it.
This is where it actually was, or actually is, and this is what I was doing here, and this is where she came through, you know, because a lot of people don't realize it, you know. So some people still think in America that we're here, we're living in igloos, or, you know, no, we're not living in an igloo. We have, you know, regular, you see me, but some people, they're just so blind to it. So when these people came from that ran through and brought the slaves under, they, you know, they had to adjust too. So a lot of them are here because a lot of the heritage from America is here.
Yes. Yes.
So you must be saying, oh, you didn't get this one today. Look, I know my stuff. We may not get an opportunity to say a lot of stuff, but we do. But you have another clip of something else. So just tell us about that before we show that one.
So this book, like I said, is written for girls, and I have developed. I want girls to know that they're a gift box. They're like a gift box from God. And so what I thought I'd do is package this. You can purchase this book at Amazon and on my website. But I put together a special gift box that has not just this book, but the workbook and some other items in there that help massage that self-love within. And so this little video explains what's in the gift box.
Well, I guess we're all gift box, so you got to send me a gift box.
I will do that. Get your address. I'll do that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Here we go.
Hi, this is Carol Brown, and I'm here to tell you about my exciting gift box. When I was marketing this book, The Harriet Tubman Way, The Inspirational Guide to Self-Love, Empowerment, and Legendary Leadership for Girls, I also made a workbook to go along with it, so you can journal and write down your thoughts. And there's also a little pocket-sized gratitude journal, because gratitude is the best way to build your self-love for yourself and others. Well, I decided I wanted to make sure the young ladies knew that they were a gift by reminding them and packaging the book in a beautiful gift box. This gift box, it says Harriet Tubman Love and Actions on the outside, and inside, I love you. You can write your name right here. So every time you open your gift box, you'll see that I love you. Your books, your gratitude journal, and so many things will be coming in your gift box. A pen to write with, a flower that you could put in your hair to remind yourself that if you like flowers, don't wait for someone else to buy them for you. You can get them yourself. There's a rose quartz that will remind you and help you strengthen your self-love. Rinse it when you get it, and then put it under your pillow. Some seeds. Seeds are just representing how important it is to nurture yourself as you're growing into your beautiful self. I had a little bracelet saying that you are now a part of the Love and Action movement. So that's great. We want everyone involved with self-love and loving themselves. A mirror to always look at yourself and say positive things. And so to help you remember to say positive things, we have in this box a scarf with beautiful aspirations and affirmations in there. One more thing, a little gift of self-care from Dove. Just because Dove has some excellent information on self-empowerment for girls on their website. So think about this. When you're ready to purchase your book, give your books for gifts, this goes along with it. Come to my website, the KAROL, KAROL, vbrown.com, And my store is the Harriet Tubman store, where you can buy your books, your gift box, and have that special person so happy to receive their own personal gift box on the next special event. So I hope that you will share this, and I hope that many, many girls all around the world realize that they are a gift box.
So that is just, I have a mission that I will get those gift boxes to girls all over the world, and that we increase the amount of self-love. And when girls start loving themselves, they're going to realize that they have all they need. They won't be so, the social media won't have that negative effect on them, and they will be more respectful for themselves and expect that respect from others. And so the guys will have to respond. They will have to treat them better. They will have to show them that they are worthy of being respected and treated well. And I also believe that as each girl loves themselves, they'll realize how much they can have compassion for others and love other women as well. And so women together can do so much in the world. And so that's my mission, this book and the gift box. And I also have a conference that was started this last year here in Dayton, is the Girls United by Love. And that was on the International Day of the Girl Child, which is an annual event in October. So we use these opportunities to really help girls learn to love themselves.
Wow. So all that, the stuff that you showed that was in the gift box, that's all comes with the gift box.
Right. So the books, of course, you can buy separate. You can buy the book separate.
The book is in there too?
The book and the workbook. All that's in there. All that's in the gift box. So they can buy that separate, but the gift box is something that you purchase for, you know, you can either buy the book separate or you can buy the gift box, and your books will be in there. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And it's like a little cardboard, a hard cardboard case that they can lock and get their stuff in.
Yes.
Well, that's pretty cute.
I'll send you one.
Yeah, so we never had those when we were growing up. This is a gift box. No, but that's something really good. And you know, in your practicing them about love yourself, you know, don't feel, you know, down, and you know, those things. And that's very, very important for you to impart that knowledge and the word love, so they understand what that means.
Yes.
And I like what you said. If you can't get nobody giving you flowers, go buy some yourself.
Yes. We need to treat yourself like you would treat your good best friend. You know, somebody you love yourself at that level or more. Take care. That means health care. You know, I'm in the health care. So eating correctly, exercising, working on decreasing your stress by laughing. That was a great.
Don't steal it. I'm coming down there for you. Carol, Harriet Tubman or not. Because when I laugh, everybody is start laughing too. So I said, well, I guess God gave me something. You know what I mean? And they say, oh my gosh. I said, I guess that's just part of me.
Yes. That's great. That's beautiful.
She's got to put that down. She's going to get a laugh. Put your laugh in the box. That's a good idea. Let's do it anyway.
I have your cards in there where they can come to your site.
You can laugh today.
I want to give you just one quote before we.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
So this is actually chapter 33, which is that the last chapter. It's 34 chapters. Again, they're all very short. It has a glossary in the back on some servant leadership. So servant leadership is also part of the book. So the leadership style is servant leadership, where you are responsible for your community. So Harriet Tubman felt responsible for her whole community. And that's part of being a servant leadership, that you give and you be a part of that. So the last chapter is show love in action everywhere you go. And the quote is, get up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Bob Marley. I thought that would be appropriate for here. And it was already in the book. I didn't just bring that about. That was here.
We got everybody out here from all walks of life and all types of people. But it's okay. So so Carol, anything are there any shout outs that you'd like to give anybody or any people or that you want to tell anybody anything?
Oh, yes. I like to give thanks to everybody who supports me. I have a lot of great friends and family. Trina Williams is my virtual assistant, and she helped set this up. So I sure appreciate that. And Christina Mendez is my person that helped me with my marketing. My family, my kids, Adia, Arizona, Altiera, my sister that takes care of my mother. My mother's 101 years old, and she lives with me. So I had to be blessed with family to help me be able to go out and do my programs. I am available now to do some traveling, but virtually works well. People discovered that, you can still do workshops and talks and things virtually. And that's one reason the movie's available. So I just want to thank all those who support me. I have people all over the country that keep encouraging me to keep on working and being Harriet. And I appreciate your time too.
Yes, thank you. Well, we're looking forward to see that part with Harriet Tubman in Canada, Canadians, her Canadian lifestyle.
I like that suggestion.
life after the slavery.
Yes.
And being free.
Yes. Celebrating being free.
All right. So, Carol, if people want to get a hold of you and contact you, so how can they, if they want to be a part of your, or get the book so that they can train, so this can tell everybody where they can get it?
My website is my name, KAROLVBrown.com. You can contact me there, or my email is KB4 Harriet Tubman @gmail.com.
Okay.
And I'm on the social media. I can never remember those, so let me tell you. Instagram, Carol V. Brown, and LinkedIn, Carol Brown, and Twitter.
And that's Carol with a K, people.
Oh, definitely. I forgot to say that. Carol with a K. That's it.
That's different.
That's it.
People
So
are looking for
you can Google me, it'll come up. Carol VK. I'm surprised that there are several other Carol Browns with the K out there. So that's why I put my middle initial in there, Vanessa. And that's
well, I love it. I love it. And when you put out this stuff, you got to come back. Real life matters. Like, so people, when they come back, they just don't let them. Oh, whatever happened to her? The lady played. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to keep answering to them all the time. Like, but we got everything. But Carol, we got everything through. We got through. Hey, today you got movie clips. You had the promo clips. You had educational clips from Carol V. Brown talking about, Harriet Tubman, how her life and what happened, but you played the mature version of her so that, make it look like, and the younger people are asking the questions, and her books are educational and training, as she said. So if you want to get your book, you want to get the books and training, you also have to get the gift box so that you can have the full experience, right?
Yes. And also, I am trying to do Instagram on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just a little brief chat with Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman talk. So I will let you know when I start doing some more lives where I hope people will come and engage with me.
So you dressed as her when you do the lives, or?
No, sometimes I put a shirt up there, but
come on, Carol. You gotta get people say, wait a minute, is Harriet Tubman? Oh my God. But it's okay. But anyways, I do want to thank you, Carol, for coming on today and telling us all about what you're doing and the movement and your journey and how you started it. and how you're portraying Harriet Tubman, the legendary, who she did, she freed these slaves and they came to Canada. But we are looking out for it's going to be part 2. I'm just saying it out there. So that the Canadian people will know what's going on.
I will do that. I will.
So I do want to thank the viewers tonight for tuning in here with KAROL and myself. So everybody, so good night and bye for now.
Bye-bye.